Hey.
How you doing? Right, I am not Dave. I'm not Dave Stonksy. Dave is away. He's having a holiday in Yorkshire Moors, I believe. Let me just check the sound's okay. Okay, it seems to be good. Brilliant. Yeah, Dave's going to be away all week, so I'm going to be filling in from Monday today until Friday. So yeah, my name's Save with Crypto from the YouTube channel Save with Crypto. Yeah, no Dave today, I'm afraid. Mr. No Day Trader. Yeah, Dave's away for a few days, so I'm filling in. I did this a few weeks ago, and I quite enjoyed it actually. I actually did like 11 days, I think, in a row. I must admit, by the end of it, I was kind of like, I was sort of relieved it was over, because to be in the same place every time, every day, is a bit of a commitment, really. I've never been very good at jobs, so it felt a little bit like a job. Anyway, Scotty Charisma's there saying hi, SWC. Hello, Scotty. How you doing? Yeah, so no Dave today, I'm afraid. I'm just going to have a look at what this is about, because I just logged into what do you call it, TradingView, and saw this meet new product, explore global economic data in a new visual format. Let's have a quick look at this, shall we? It's there, macro maps. Okay, is that going to be any use to us? Inflation rate. So there's not much inflation in Greenland, is there? Okay, so where's the worst places? Obviously down in South America. Where's that place? I don't know where that is. Didn't realize Russia had a problem. Where's that? Iran. Interesting. Is that China? Yeah, China. Interesting. Okay, so there's that. That also shows interest rate, GDP. Yeah, I've actually been playing around with TradingView quite a bit, actually, looking at the different things that it has, and there are a few things that I really, really like. In particular, I noticed that you can create your own watch lists quite easily. I'll show you that later, because it's quite cool. Let's just have a look at the Bitcoin price first of all. Let me just check the chat. Okay, so right, that's messed up. What is? Okay. Anyway, so Bitcoin. Well, this is Bitcoin on the 6-minute time frame. 6-minute time frame is one I like to look at with Stonksy, because sometimes you get these green backgrounds and red backgrounds, obviously. And what we've noticed in the past is that quite often with the green background, where you get the price coming down to the bottom of the inner channel there, if it's on a green background, it's normally quite a good sign that the price is going to go up. However, what we did notice last night, I think it was, Sunday, because I did an hour last night as well. What we did notice is when the actual inner channel is quite steep, what seems to happen is the price of Bitcoin tends to come down. It tends to follow it down while it's falling down. So you need to watch out for that, because it will go up at some point, but it won't necessarily go up as soon as it touches it. When it touches it, when it's going flat like that, it normally does go up pretty well. Let me find another one. There you go. This was quite a good one. That's a brilliant one, actually. Okay, so this one here, the price came down, touched there, went up quite nicely, came down here, did touch there, went up, came down here, wicked down quite a lot there. Now that is the bit where, like, I suppose the actual inner channel wasn't entirely in a slope downwards, but it had temporarily just gone down. Obviously something happened at that point. Wednesday 27th of August, I can't remember exactly what happened then. It was probably some sort of it was the there was some speech about something, I can't remember now, but whatever it was, I think that was it, wasn't it? And that wicked down into there, and that was brilliant, because that went up really nicely after that. So that's why I'm looking at the 6-minute. Now, 6-minute isn't green at the moment, so I'm not kind of placing my bets right now. I think at the moment, at the moment we're on a black background. It is also worth checking other exchanges. So at the moment, this is on BitGet. I've obviously been playing around with my watch list, haven't I? Yeah. Okay. So let's just check a few others. So this one is MEXC, which is still in the no trade zone. Same for Bybit. Index chart is the same. RKX the same. Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I wouldn't be taking along just now, even though we have come down and hit into that area pretty well. I would like to see a green background to give me some confidence that the price is going to go up. So so there's that. I think I might put on a little bit of music actually. I'm trying to think what music Dave uses. It's the do bit, and how does it go? I think it's called Daydreaming. Let's take that a bit. I'm not actually a massive fan of music in the background. I think it's because of like years of playing in rock bands and stuff, and playing bass and standing next to a drummer. I've got a bit of tinnitus, and I find it quite difficult to concentrate on two different sounds at the same time. So I'm not a fan myself, but let me know what you think. Let's just have a look at the comments. So what we got? US market's closed today. Yes, it is. However, the London exchanges are open. Also, the CME group surprised me as well. I'm just loading it up because I thought that the CME would be closed until September the 2nd, like tomorrow. And it is indeed for quite a lot of things that they do. But for the actual Bitcoin futures and options, it did actually open last night as it does normally. So the CME is open, which is kind of interesting because if we go to the CME chart, which I should have a layout ready to go. Hang on. There you go, that one there. So what actually happened was on Friday we closed at that price there, and then last night we opened at that price there. Price came down, so the CME gap for last weekend is filled. The one from the previous weekend, of course, is not. We did sort of go into it a little bit because it was starting at here, so there is really all that left there. So what will the price do? Yeah, okay, well, it would be lovely to see it go up there and just clear that gap, just so we know it's done and out of the way. I'd quite like that. But yeah, it's worth bearing in mind that the CME is indeed open. So let's just go back to, oops. Right. Okay, so let's go back to the Bitcoin chart. Which one was I looking at? I was looking at the BitGate, wasn't it? Yeah. Okay, so for Bitcoin, yeah, I'm looking at that on the 6 minute. I also like to look at it on the 1 hour as well. And what is fairly promising here is the fact that this momentum oscillator here went down. At least I think it's a momentum oscillator, whatever. This oscillator here went right down here to like -1 on Sunday at about 5 p.m. UK time. And then it started to lift off, okay? Now, at the time, the price actually went down a little bit, but then it's gone back up again. So that is fairly promising, because if you look back in the past when it does that, for example, there, that sort of shows the price going up. So I think, to be honest, it's a bit of a coin toss, and there is no New York session today. So there's going to be no bell ringing at 2:30. So it's very hard to say exactly what's going to happen, but to me, it's not looking too bad, actually. I'd love to know what you guys think. Let's just have a look at the comments. So Gary O'Toole saying, pardon, that's because you're a drummer, isn't it? Yeah, I must admit, like, 20 plus years, like more than that actually, of standing next to a crash cymbal and a hi-hat is It's quite wearing on the ears. If you are young, by the way, look after your ears, because you don't want to get tinnitus. Honestly, once you've got it, it's like, I didn't even get it from playing in a band. I got it from I got it from an ear infection that I got when I was about, well, however old, quite old. I got an ear infection, and then when it cleared, there was this like whistling in my ear, and the doctor, the ear specialist guy in France, and he actually spoke English, and he said, "You hear some whistling in your ear?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he went, "I'm sorry, it is for life." And I was like, that was the most depressing thing ever, because I'll never hear silence ever again. Anyway, the best thing to do is ignore it, so I'll stop talking about it. Anyway, Sui took a decent dump on that unlock today. Oh, okay. We'll have a look at that. I mean, let me write that down on my bit of paper. I've got a few things I want to look at. Sui. Okay, nice. Okay, thanks for that short video. Still have massive CME gap going above 117. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, above? Oh, going up to 117. Yeah. Bobby, I wake up, I see Pepe prices down, I sleep. Okay, so are you a Pepe bag holder? We'll look at that anyway. Right. Gary O'Toole, I once frightened the life out of a French horn player sat to my left in a big band. I put a big China symbol up, but never hit it once. Yeah, you drummers make a lot of noise, don't you? I know my mate Mr. Delta, he's got a bit of tinnitus as well, because he's been a drummer for quite a long time. Well, he plays drums, bass, guitar, all sorts of things, but when he was in a band with me, he was mostly being a drummer. But I must admit, he wasn't one of those that hit the drums really hard. Actually, he was quite a nice player, Anyway, let's go back to the chart. So okay, so that's Bitcoin. Well, let's look at some others. Let's look at Sumi, see what that did. Okay, so presumably this will tell me here about the unlock, will it? No. Okay. Well, that's not too bad, is it? I suppose it is, actually. Yeah, it's all right. Looks like it could be fairly tradable, though, doesn't it? Let's look at that on the 1 hour. Yeah, you see, 1 hour on Stonksy does this kind of red background on the 1 hour, really nice, and then it sort of goes down. Hasn't gone massively down though. That's anything, And yeah, again, you're seeing this oscillator go back up again. So maybe it's in for a bit of a recovery as well. What was that other one? Pepe. Pepe, yeah, it's nothing crazy, is it? So there's a bit of red generally in the market, isn't there? Let's look at that crypto bubbles thing. Crypto. It's not a bit sniffy today. So what the hell is that? M. Mean core. I have no idea what that is. What am I looking at there? Are they all memes? Okay. Pith, yeah, I was going to look at that as well. Let me write that down. There's a few things that have caught my interest. Pith was one of them. WLFI. I don't totally understand that actually, because I thought it was supposed to be a stable coin. It's clearly not, is it? Form. I have no idea what that is. Yeah, okay. So over the week. Meme core. Never heard of that. Has anybody else heard of that? How long's that been around? Okay. Looks like it's only a few months old. It's just one of those, isn't it? When was that? That was Saturday. Well, I must say, if you got Stonksy, brilliant. Goes green then, and then what does it do? Pushes up 152%. Jesus, you could trade that on spot, couldn't you? And you'd be fine, wouldn't you? And I bet even if I was to expand these ones out a bit, okay, that green one not so good there. This one was good, wasn't it? Yeah, it's a new coin though. It's really hard to predict what it's going to do, isn't it? Yeah. Interesting. This WLFI. WLFI. So I thought that was going to be a stable coin. I'm tempted to ask Grok, should I do that? Let me see. Let me get her up. Hi there. Can you tell me what the WLFI crypto is all about?
Hey, WLFI, or World Liberty Financial, is a crypto project backed by the Trump family, launched as a governance and utility token for their DeFi platform. It's built to let holders vote on protocol upgrades and access services like lending, staking, and yield farming, while promoting a USD-backed stablecoin called USD1. The token's tied to ideals of financial freedom and US regulatory compliance, with a total supply of 100 billion. It kicked off trading on September 1st, 2025, on exchanges like Binance, with an initial unlock of 27 billion tokens. There's buzz around its political ties and potential for high returns, but some worry about centralization since the Trump family reportedly controls a big chunk. Anything specific you want to know about it?
Wasn't it supposed to be a stablecoin?
Yes. World Liberty Financial launched their stablecoin, USD1, earlier this year in March 2025. It's pegged 1-to-1 with the US dollar, backed by short-term US government treasuries, cash deposits, and other cash equivalents, with reserves held by BitGo, a digital asset custodian. USD1 is designed for secure, cross-border transactions for both institutional and retail users, and it's already live on Ethereum and BNB Smart Chain, with plans to expand to Solana and other blockchains. It's hit a market cap of over $2 billion pretty fast, which has stirred some buzz. Want to dive deeper into USD1 or something else?
No, thanks. That's all for now. Yeah, that's interesting. Oh, right. Yeah. So I was getting confused. Okay. So USD1 was the stable coin. WLFI is something else. Has anybody tried to trade this? I'm not sure. Not sure how easy that would be. Actually, it looks like it's pretty crazy. Actually, so it seems this is weird, isn't it? Because this launched on Perpetual first of all on various exchanges, and then now it's available on spot today, I think. So obviously it's going to do something, isn't it? Yeah. It might be worth a punt, but I'm not going to do it while I'm doing a live stream. But let me know if anybody else out there is. Anyway, let's have a look at the chat. So Nick's saying looks nice for a short the meme core. Yeah, it could be. I don't. Is that possible? Is that doable on exchanges? I haven't really looked. You in any trades? I am actually in a Bitcoin long. Actually, I'm not expecting massive, like a all-time high or anything in the near future. But I'm expecting to go up a little bit, and I am really expecting it to fill that CME gap sometime this week. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm also in a little CRO long as well. I'll show you that in a moment. Let me write that down as well. CRO. Obviously CRO had quite a pump, didn't it? And then it sort of pulled back a little bit. So I think it's just having a bit of a chill. I think it'll go back up again, but we can look at that in a moment. Cyprian's there. Hello, Cyprian. It's great. It's always good to have the OGs here, isn't it? Brilliant. So the other one I was going to look at was that Form 1. Don't know what that is. Oh, yeah. Okay. I don't know what this is, but that looks like it's done something, isn't it? Oh, I'm on the CME chart, aren't I? So I need to go to, sorry, the CME layout. So I need to go back to my Stonksy one. What was it again? Form, wasn't it? This is one of the ones I noticed on that bubbles thing as being pretty bad. I mean, look how brilliant Stonksy did there. Went red, and then where did it actually go red? It went red there, didn't it? No, actually there, wasn't it? That's when you could have set an alert and you'd have got like a 20% drop. So that would have been pretty cool. All right. And I was just going to show you CRO, partly for my own interest as well, actually. Let's look at the Bybit one. So CRO's been up here, up at like pretty much 40 cents, which pleased me a lot because I've got loads of it. Although, to be honest, most of it I've got is staked to get the card. I've got one of those rose gold cards that I got in 2020 when you had to stake 100,000 CRO. So obviously I'm looking for like CRO to be like $1, and then I've got 100 grand, haven't I? And I'll probably, I don't know, I'll probably cash out at that point, to be honest. Although I think it might go higher, it might go to 2, I don't know. If it goes to 2, I'll probably stake the next level of card and then sell half of it, that's what I'll probably do. So yeah. Cyprian, you're talking about my plans for eGold. Yeah, I'll cover that in a moment, actually. So CRO, yeah, it's one of those again, isn't it? It's come down, and look, this is really nice here, where you've got the you've got the oscillator, the Stonksy oscillator here on the -1. I think it's starting to go pink and lift off. So I think that will go back up again. So I am in a little trade there. It's only a tiny one, actually. I could show you it, but it's on my other computer, so I won't. Actually, I'll just have a quick look. Just have a quick look. Tell you if it's in profit or not. No, I'm down 0.12%, so I'm pretty much at break even. So yeah, I'm waiting for that to go up. Right, so Cyprian's talking about my. Sorry, I keep doing that thing where I don't share the right screen, don't I? So Cyprian's talking about my plans for eGold, mainly because I did a video yesterday saying that I said I was probably going to sell my eGold. I actually didn't in the end. I did set a sell order, and then I was going to go out for the day, so I wasn't going to be near a computer, and didn't want to be looking at my phone all the time. So I actually thought, well, I'll just cancel the order. Since I did that, let me have a look at eGold. So I think I had my sell order set. I think it was about, I don't know, it was about I think it was getting, I thought it was getting on for like $15. Maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was 14.5. It had a 5 in it anyway. It was, when was it? It was Sunday morning. So that would have been about here, wouldn't it? Yeah, maybe it was 14.5 something. So I had planned to sell it around that sort of price there. And then when I was going out, I just thought that's ridiculous because I'm selling it at far too low a price, really, because it can go up even though it doesn't seem to want to. If you look at it on the daily chart, let's just turn Stonksy off for a moment. On daily chart, it doesn't really make sense to sell it down there, does it? There again, I was going to sell it and then buy something else with it that I expected to go up. I was going to buy some like WXT or something. So what actually happened overnight is EGLD went down 5% and WXT went down about 2%. So it would have actually made sense to swap it into WXT, but I didn't. So I'm going to think about it a little bit more, and I might actually look at a lot wider bunch of exchange tokens instead. Not just WXT. I might look at the FemX1 PT, I think it's called, and there's the, what's it called? There was like a Coin W1 as well. Actually, I think that one's pumped already. Actually, so I think it's CWT, is it? No, Coin. Oh yeah, that one there. Yeah. Look at that. Would we have known that was going to happen? Well, to be honest, if you'd have been monitoring the Stonksy oscillator on the -1, looking at it going pink, you'd have bought here. You'd have bought there, and up to today, you would be 1,731% in profit. It's a shame, innit? It's like, how would you have known? It doesn't do it every time though, like it didn't do it here. Or maybe it did a little bit, but let's zoom in a bit. So that going from, actually, you see, even that, yeah. So it went pink there. So if you'd have bought there and gone up to there, even that would have been 18%. And obviously, if you'd have hung on to it, you could have got up to there, 42%. Do pay attention to this oscillator down here. If you haven't got Stonksy, I've left a link in the chat at the top of how to get it. You can use my code as well, which is SWC10, which gets you 10% off the annual thingy and annual fee. So there's that as well. Nice. Okay. Let me just have a look at the screen. Yeah, sorry, I keep doing that. I keep doing the thing where I go and talk about a different screen and then forget to show you the one that I meant to show you at. Please do remind me if I do that. So yeah, I'm getting better. I got quite good last time I took over from Dave, and then I seem to have got into my bad habits again. Okay, so WLFI just launched. Okay, was that like just launched, like as in a few minutes ago? Scottish Crypto, good morning all. Hello, how you doing? Cyprian saying, I sold yesterday and bought today at a 10% discount. Yeah, that's EGLD, isn't it? Yeah, that's the kind of thing I'm actually thinking that maybe I should be doing myself, just literally looking for those green days, selling it, and then if it goes down, buy it back, and just keep doing that. And then if at the end of the day it runs away and I'm just left holding USDT, I'll just do something else with it. And to be honest, I have still got over in my X exchange, I've got my MEX, MEX EGLD farm as well, for what it's worth. I'm not sure what it is worth, but that is there still. That's still creating the XMEX thing that God knows what's going to happen with that. But that is still there. So I have still got exposure to EGLD, even if I was to sell all my liquid EGLD. So there is that. I keep thinking, actually, that maybe that's the way, you should go if you've got if you've done loads of trading, you've got like quite a big bag. Just like spot trade stuff. You use Stonksy for it, just literally, buy on a green day and sell on is that right? No, sorry, buy on a red day and sell on a green day. And just keep doing that. So yeah, sounds like a plan to me. Let's have a look at some of these other ones anyway. So yeah, this WLFI thing is that's got me interested. I might ask Grok a few more things about it. Hi, can I ask you some more questions about WLFI?
Hey, sure thing. What do you want to know about World Liberty Financial?
So it launched on some exchanges over the weekend for perpetual trading, and today it launched available for spot trading. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct. WLFI derivatives, like perpetual futures, started trading over the weekend, with open interest hitting around $800 million as traders positioned for the launch. Today, September 1st, 2025, spot trading opened on exchanges like Binance, KuCoin, and others at 1300 UTC for pairs like WLFI USDT and WLFI USD1. Deposits were available earlier, and withdrawals are set to start tomorrow, September 2nd. Anything else you want to unpack about the launch?
So how do you think the price might do today?
Hard to say exactly, but based on current trends and pre-launch data, WLFI might see a surge today, September 1st, 2025, due to hype around its spot trading launch on major exchanges like Binance and KuCoin. Futures and pre-market trading have shown prices between 40 and 44 cents, with some analysts predicting a jump toward $1, driven by strong institutional interest and a fully diluted valuation over $40 billion. However, with only 20% of pre-sale tokens unlocking and a high valuation, there's a risk of sell-offs if early investors cash out, which could cause volatility. Early trading volume, already up 141% to $1.76 billion in futures, suggests a lot of action today, but Bitcoin's recent swings and broader market sentiment could also sway things. Keep an eye on those exchanges for real-time moves. Anything else you want to dive into?
Yeah, can you get the general sentiment from X about WLFI?
Looking at posts on X, the general sentiment about WLFI today, September 1st, 2025, is mostly bullish, but with some caution. A lot of users are hyped, with terms like Patriot Crypto floating around, and some are betting on a big price jump, anywhere from 50 cents to $1, because of the Trump connection and institutional backing like the $1.5 billion Treasury deal with Alt 5 Sigma. However, there's skepticism too. Some warn it's a late to the party deal, predicting losses for retail investors due to insider sell-offs or overvaluation, with one user noting the risk of a crash below 1 cent if the DeFi platform doesn't deliver. The vibe's a mix of FOMO-driven optimism and wary voices urging caution. Want me to dig into anything specific from these reactions?
Yeah, I'd like to know more about the DeFi aspect of it.
Sure. World Liberty Financial's DeFi side focuses on lending, borrowing, and stablecoin use, aiming to blend traditional finance with crypto through their platform. WLFI, the governance and utility token, lets holders vote on protocol changes and access services like staking, yield farming, and early product launches, all on an Aave v3 instance for secure borrowing and lending of assets like USD1, their US dollar pegged stablecoin. It emphasizes US compliant DeFi, targeting mass adoption with a focus on stablecoin dominance, backed by significant investments in assets like Ethereum and Bitcoin to stabilize its ecosystem. Still, details on the full financial infrastructure are somewhat vague, as they keep some strategies under wraps. Want me to zoom in on any specific DeFi feature or how it stacks up against other platforms?
No, that's fine for now, thank you. But while you're there, can you give me an idea about what Bitcoin might do today, bearing in mind that the US markets are closed today?
With US markets closed for Labor Day, Bitcoin's likely to see lower volume and more sideways movement today, September 1st, 2025, as trading often quiets down without US participation. It's starting the day around $108,000 based on recent data, and might hover between $105,000 and $112,000 unless big news, like the Bank of England rate cut you mentioned earlier, sparks global momentum, potentially pushing it toward $115,000 if sentiment stays bullish. Keep an eye on offshore exchanges for any sudden moves, but don't expect fireworks. Anything else you want to dig into?
Yeah, tell me more about the Bank of England rate cut.
The Bank of England cut its interest rate from 4.25% to 4% last month, on August 7th, after a close 5-4 vote by the Monetary Policy Committee. It was the fifth cut in a year, bringing the rate to its lowest since March 2023. They're trying to boost a sluggish UK economy, with growth flatlining at 0% in April and May, though inflation's been sticky, hitting 3.8% in July. The next decision's due September 18th, but with inflation expected to peak at 4% this month, driven by food and energy prices, most analysts think they'll hold at 4% for now. Markets are pricing in a cautious approach, with maybe another cut to 3.75% by November or early 2026. It's a tricky balance, supporting growth without fueling more inflation. Want to dive into how this might affect crypto or something else?
No, that's fine for now, thank you. Okay, that's good to know. Right, so yeah, interesting. I quite like Grok, isn't she's great, isn't she? Yeah, as hang on, as RN says, damn, better analysis than 90% of influence is. I agree actually. The only thing is sometimes, things like Grok, they'll get the price completely wrong. I mean, the other day I was having a chat with her and she was saying, with the current price of 56,000 blah blah, and I said that's not the price of Bitcoin, and it's like, oh yeah, you're right, sorry for my mistake. And it's like, yeah, that's when AI goes wrong, isn't it? So do fact check everything you do. When Lambo, I actually don't want a Lambo. Don't want a Lambo. I actually want a house with a driveway so I can charge an electric car, and then I probably want like a Tesla. That's what I want, I think. I want an electric car that I can charge at home. At the moment, I don't have a driveway, so I can't do that. So I've got my old 10-year-old Jeep Cherokee, and that'll do for the time being. It does for everything I need it to, and I'll just run it into the ground. So that's what I'll do. Okay. So what else did I write down? Okay, I think I've covered all that stuff there. Let's have a look at some other things. So let's have a look at Ethereum, because I think Ethereum had quite a good night, didn't it, last night? No, it didn't. Yes, it did. Oh, it did. Okay. Oh, that's good. Right. Okay. This is good. Look, we've got a green background on the 1 hour on Ethereum. And this is a really good example of the Stonksy oscillator. lifting off from the -1, which it did on at about 2 p.m. UK time on Saturday, and it went up nicely since then, even though we're on the red background. And now we're on a green background. Now, what I've found in the past is worth doing with these things here is when it, if you miss the initial entry, when it becomes green, I've found that usually it's worth setting an order at the same price as it entered the green area on me. So, for example, if you'd have done, if you were up here and you think, oh no, I've missed the start of the green, then now you'd be in the trade, wouldn't you? And as long as that stays green, you'll probably be all right. Now, I'd also like to check that as well with, say, the 6 minute. Okay, so 6 minute isn't green at the moment. However, you've got this little green triangle here, which is a bullish sign. And we have come down to the lower boundary of the inner channel, and we're going back up. So Ethereum might be all right, actually. Looks like everything had a sort of weird pump and then a little pump and then dump this morning. Not quite sure what the reason for that was. I suppose it might be to do with the London session beginning. Yeah, it was actually, wasn't it? It was the start of the London session, pumped a little bit and then came back. Yeah, it's a shame we haven't got the New York Open today, because it would help to punctuate the show a little bit, because it's always nice to have a little countdown ready for that. But never mind. What else can we look at? Yeah, so what I was looking at with TradingView was creating watch lists. And this is really good, actually, because I didn't realize you could do this. But if you go to your TradingView and you go to Home, okay, and you've got products here, right? And you've got screeners. And here you've got things like, different things you can look at. And yesterday I did a video about exchange coins. And I thought it'd be really good to have a list, a watch list of just exchange coins. So you can do that here. If you go to category and you just choose exchange tokens, there's all sorts of things you can choose here. You can got algorithmic stable coins, animal memes, centralized exchanges, DAOs, DeFi, DePIN, energy. I mean, that'd be quite useful, wouldn't it? Gambling, gaming. It's good, isn't it? So you can actually, choose a category. Oh, look, World Liberty Financial Portfolio. You could choose that one as well. I might do that as well. Anyway, so these are like the exchange tokens. So you can just get these. You can see how they're ranked. Obviously got BNB and Hyperliquid right at the top. I'm not sure why Stella's there, actually. Wouldn't have thought that was an exchange token. Kronos obviously is, and that's at number 18. Uniswap is still at 25, which amazed me. BitGet token, like viewers of my channel will probably know that I was buying BitGet token when it was around about sort of 20 cents and 40 cents, and then I sold it all at $8. So that was a really good one. Gate tokens looking quite interesting as well. Radium was obviously important. So you can get all of these, then just do a shift and actually there's thousands, isn't there? Let's just say you want the first. Actually, no, there's 113 altogether. So if you highlight that one, right, and then scroll down to the bottom and highlight the whole lot. In fact, can you do a Control A? Does that work? Yeah, it does. Yeah. Okay, so you can do a Control A or Command A on a Mac, and then do it. Right click, add selected to watch list, and then you can create new list, and then you can call that exchange tokens, and you can create a watch list. Okay, I've actually done that already, so I might actually do that World Liberty Finance one. So I can reset and then go to category and then do World Liberty Financial Portfolio. Okay. That's pretty cool, isn't it? So I can do a Command A, add selected to watch list, create a new watch list, and I'll call that World Liberty Portfolio. Yeah. Portfolio. And then create that watch list, and then go back to the super charts. And there you go. I've got the watch list there for World Liberty Portfolio. And that's got some in it that I wasn't. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, so there's your USD1. Obviously, that's a stable coin. It's not that stable, is it? I suppose it is. That's only up to 1.0007. Yeah, it's pretty stable. USDT, obviously. So it's got the stable coins. Link. That's obviously why Link had its run, wasn't it? So what else you've got? Ondo. Move. Don't even know what move is. Movement. Don't know what that is. Tron's important, I think, because Tron gets used for all like moving stables around and stuff, doesn't it? Say, I didn't know that was in there. That's interesting to know. BUSD, that is whatever that is. Don't know what that is. An Aave. Anyway, so that is how you can create a watch list. I think that's really, really useful, actually. So Kaz says a good tip. Thanks. Yeah, I think that's really useful. I mean, there's a few things in TradingView that I haven't really explored that much. For example, the calendars here. So at the moment, you can see that in 6 minutes in France, you've got the 12-month BTF auction, whatever that is. And then in Brazil, you've got the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. All these things. So have I got anything that will happen during the stream? Just those, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how important that would be, the S&P Global Manufacturing PMI. I mean, it's the sort of thing I wouldn't ever know about. So that's pretty cool. So I like that. Also, news flow. You've probably seen that kind of thing before, but it's always good to have a look at what's going on. So that's good. Yield curves. I don't know exactly how to use that, actually. I'll have a look at that at some other point. And yeah, so I actually think as well, you know, the screener for looking at things like stocks. That's the wrong one. Hang on, that's the map. Oops. Try that again. Okay. Screen, yeah, because you got these heat maps down here, then you got the screeners up here. There you go, stocks. So once again, here you've got the all these sort of things. Hang on, it hasn't got a category, has it? Or has it? Not as such. Okay. I suppose you could go by market cap, couldn't you? That might be interesting. But even so, you've got 8,000 there. So if you wanted to do like the first 100 or so, you could do that. That might be useful as well. And create your own watch list like that. I mean, I've just got a little one here of like, oh, actually, I deleted it. I've normally got like the Mag 7 there, you know, the like Nvidia, Apple, all that kind of thing. Actually, Apple might be interesting, you know, because it's getting to iPhone season, isn't it? So that might be a one worth looking at. Of course, the stocks are going to do nothing today. Well, not the American ones anyway, because the market is closed today. So there you go. So I think Siri was another one we're going to look at, wasn't it? Yeah, you see, they're all a bit red, aren't they, today? So they're all like too late to short, and I'm not quite confident about going long just at the moment. So what, of course, you can do with something like Siri is you can set an alert for when the price crosses that lower boundary, and you can do that just by going up to here, going to alert, going to Stonksy, and then you've got inner channel break below. Okay, and that's on the 6-minute chart, and you can do that. You can do it only once, and that will just obviously trigger the ones. If you do once per bar, it will go off whenever that happens. Once per bar close is the one I like to use, just so I'm not inundated by alerts going off all the time. And then you can give it a message, alert name rather, something like, you know, 6-minute Sui break of inner channel. And that way you'll be alerted when it comes down there. Now, obviously, what I'd be looking for then is Sui to be on the green background. So I could set an alert for that as well. I could just go alert Sui Stonksy, and then background change. I mean, you can do generic background change. That'll probably do, wouldn't it? And we do once per bar again. And we'll call that Siri 6-minute background change. So there you go. There's some alerts set there for SUI. So, we'll get an idea of what that's doing if those alerts fire off. With ones that are down here on the oscillator on the 1 hour.
Hey.
Whoops.
Hey.
Okay, right. I'm just going to close them for the moment. But that is an alert I've set to show me about some altcoins that might be of interest right now. And I'm just going to write them down. If I can just get to my... So I'm just looking at a different screen at the moment. Right. So these ones that are of interest are actually Trump, VeChain, God blimey, IMX, GRT, Pump, APT, Hype, SPX6, I have no idea what that is, and TON. Okay, let's have a look at these, because I'd basically set this alert to show me things of interest. Either they're at a point when I think they might turn around because they've gone up a lot, or they might turn around because they've gone down a lot, and we'll see what happens. So this is a bit of an experiment with me, actually. Yeah, no. So I wasn't actually doing anything that was particularly important there. I was just writing down some stuff that was just on a separate thing. So I'm trying to have a look at these coins. Okay, and just see if we can see anything interesting. Right. So Trump is coming down, right? So what's happened there? Trump meme coin. Now, is that something to do with the WLFI? Could like people be selling their Trump coins and buying WLFI? Quite possible, isn't it? So that might be of interest if you've got some Trump coin. I did have some for a few hours when it first came out. I actually made some money on it. Actually, I made about $400, I think. Anyway, so that's that. Okay, VeChain. Let's have a look at what's going on with VeChain. Do you know when I first got into crypto, like about 4 years ago, maybe 5 years ago, all I had was like a little bit of Bitcoin, and I had a friend in the Netherlands who I'd done some work for, and he was my kind of like crypto connection, and he kind of taught me about things like how to set up a hardware wallet, and how to even set up a software wallet. I don't know, but he taught me all that kind of stuff, and I said, is there anything else I should be interested in? And he said, have a look at VeChain, and I think the price of it then was tiny. In fact, don't know how far this goes back. But the weird thing is, I was so naive about it. I didn't really know. I didn't really know what it meant. I was looking at prices. So that would have been about 2020. Yeah, about 2020 it was. In fact, it was about later in 2020. It was probably around about here. And he said, get some VeChain. And I didn't, because I kind of looked at the price of it, and it was obviously like that. It was like 0.00773, whereas my my Bitcoin was worth, over $1,000, and I was thinking, well, I don't want to buy that because it's not worth anything. That was a mistake, wasn't it? Because if I'd have bought it then and gone up to there, I'd have got like a 3,500% rise. That was a mistake. Anyway, that's crypto for you, isn't it? Let's just have a look what it's doing. Right, so VeChain is coming down. And I just put Stonksy back on. So VeChain on the 1 hour. Where's it gone? What am I doing wrong there? Right. And then put Stonksy on. Not sure why that's doing that. Let's try that on the 6 minute. Sometimes it does this on the more weird coins, and I don't know why that's doing that. I don't know why that is. That's when I need someone like SMFC here. Can I make that go bigger? Okay. Why does it do that? Okay. So once again, this might be the sort of thing where it's worth setting an alert for when you get a green background here on VeChain, because that could go up nicely, couldn't it? Because if we go out a little bit, say to the 1 hour, let me just turn Stonksy off for a moment. You can see that is ranging, isn't it? In fact, you can see that kind of area there, can't you? Sort of like, that kind of area there. So that could easily sort of bounce around there. Let me just see if that makes any sense if we zoom out to say the weekly. When was that? Oh, okay. God, it goes up and down a lot, doesn't it? Yeah, this looks like a popular area though, doesn't it? Try the monthly. Yeah. That wouldn't be the sort of thing I'd want to trade myself, actually, but it's certainly come down a bit. The thing is, I don't know what VeChain's all about, really. I know it's originally to do with some sort of like supply chain thing, but I think they changed the utility of it, didn't they? So I don't actually know what it is now. So that wouldn't be a one. No day trader saying, is there any 100% discount coupon code? There is not, actually, unfortunately. Let me have a look what there is. Okay, so this is the website, stonksy.io. The link for it is at the top of the chat. I posted it earlier on today. So the pricing is £145 a month. That's UK pounds, or £9.99 for the annual. And there's a limited time offer here for just the oscillator for £44. I've got a feeling though it's been cheaper. Let me just see if Dave's got some Let me see if Dave's got some, what do you call them? Coupons for, because I'm sure there was an offer going last week. Let me just find one of his streams from last week. Sorry about that. All right, so I'm just looking at this one here. So what's he got? Okay, 35% off annual and lifetime plans discount auto applied. So it was 35% off. That's pretty good. And that looks like the only offers at the moment. But I'll tell you what, the affiliate plan, right? If you're a Stonksy user, you can be a Stonksy affiliate. You don't have to, prove anything. You don't have to say, I'm a prolific YouTuber or I'm a TikToker with 1 million followers. All you have to do is just sign up, and then you get your own link. And that unique link gives you, I can't remember what it is now. I think it's quite generous. It's something like 20% commission. So it means something like, if you have 20 people, if you can sign up 20 people, like 20 of your friends, or, if you're in some sort of like, trading group or something, if you're allowed to shill a link or something, if you can actually get 20 people to sign up, it means you're not paying anything. So, it's worth doing, I think. So, yeah, give it a go. But that is, so I'm afraid, no, there's no 100% discount. It would be nice if there was, but sadly there's not. Friends, what's that? Yeah, I know. I must admit, I think I've got more like online friends than real ones at the moment. Well, people I talk to on a daily basis, really. Yeah, I had lots of friends when I lived in France, and I moved back to the UK, and I haven't really got hardly any now. Well, not that I see regularly anyway. So yeah. All right, not friends then. Or you can make YouTube videos, about how well you're doing with your Stonksy trades, and then sort of say, come here, sign up, get Stonksy, and have a look. But yeah, I reckon if you get 20, you're getting it for free. If you get 40, then you're making a reasonable living. Well, not a reasonable living, but you're certainly going towards paying the bills. IMX also seem to be doing something. Right. Okay. So yeah, again, this is one of those where it has been green and now it's just deciding it's in this black no trade zone. So we don't know what that's doing. Also, let's check it on the 1 hour time frame. And that's interesting. It's been down here. We've got a little bullish triangle there, and the oscillator's coming up. So that might be one worth looking at. IMX, GRT was another one. Was that the graph or something like that? Okay. Now this one has actually. I've obviously got my trading view set weird, haven't I? Because it's doing things where it's not auto scaling that thingy over there. Have I clicked something I shouldn't do? Anyway, so GRT, yeah, that one, the oscillator went pink there. That went up nicely. It's come back a little bit, but the background is green, so GRT was looking pretty good. Once again, you're on that green background now, so you could have a little punt going long there. I don't really know what it is. I've got a feeling it's called the graph or something, and I think it's one of the things that has fairly dodgy tokenomics, but pump. Didn't do that right, did I? There you go. Is that the right one? Yeah, I think it is. pump. Now, what's this done? Why is this on my list? This is on my list because the oscillator is right down here on the -1, although it has gone pink, I must admit. So this might be one that might take off again, although I think it's done quite a bit of pumping already. No pun intended. Actually, maybe a pun intended. Yeah, that one I'll probably be looking for it to go green actually, and getting a little pump. Yeah, getting a little pump like that. Yeah. And APT. I must admit, none of these are like really standing out as like massive opportunities. I think today is just going to be a bit like that. It's just going to be one of those days where like nothing's happening. APT, very similar, isn't it? I mean, normally we'd be like 15 minutes away from New York Open. And there's just nothing going on, is there? That's going to move the market. I'm actually wondering, you know, if it's actually worth looking out for situations when the price comes down into this lower band of the inner channel in certain conditions where, for example, like the oscillator is getting near the bottom. I mean, that wasn't quite the bottom, was it? But if you look here, for example, I mean, that shot straight through there, didn't it? And then you were stuck on the bottom. And then it lifted off. Yeah, maybe. Anyway, APT, that's one that came up on my list. So this was a bit of an experiment with something I've been doing. So I'm just curious to look at these. Hype USD. Hyperliquid is obviously massive, isn't it? And it has pulled back a little bit. Does look good there, doesn't it? You see, went along the bottom there, went pink, and up it's going. It's not going up very quickly though, it's not doing like what it did there. I mean, that green background there was brilliant, wasn't it? Went green. How much was that? That was on Tuesday last week, wasn't it? So Tuesday. Then it went up 16%. I mean, just imagine if you could make, you know, I don't know, 10, 16%, even just once a week, compound your gains, and you'd be like very rich very quickly, wouldn't you? Yeah. Okay. Hype SPX6. I have no idea what this is. All these ones that have like SP in them, I always think they just look really, really spammy. I don't know. It's just how I perceive them, I think. SPX6 USD. Okay. So that was obviously my list because it came down. That's come down while you're on a green background. I probably wouldn't long that at the moment because this oscillator here is right at the top there. So that to me implies that that might be running out of steam a little bit and it might come down, like what it did here, for example. So that is probably not on the list. So TON. And TON is pulling back as well. Yeah, yeah, right. It was a bit of an experiment, but I don't think there's any massive opportunities there. So, yeah, okay. Right. So I can't really look at any stocks, can I? Because there's nothing happening today. I don't think you get any There's no kind of pre-market thing or anything like that. No, it's just nothing, is there? So holiday, last update, August the 30th. Okay. So that's not trading at the moment. I know this is one of the ones that Wiz was looking at, actually, Eli Lilly. He's quite bullish on that. Talking of Wiz, the Wiz Devolt, I did watch his show this morning, and actually, look, we've got a green background on Bitcoin. That is normally a bullish sign. Okay, good, because I want it to go up because I'm long at the moment. Okay, that's great news. That's great news. How's it looking on the 6 minute? 6 minutes, still no trade. Although I might leave it on the 6 minute to see what happens. And just for the record, what you can see here, see, I really like this with Stonksy because I'm looking at this on the 6 minute, but I'm a real fan of the background color change on the 1 hour time frame. So what you can do, you can come up here, go to the settings, and then in the inputs, I think it's the inputs, yeah, you can do enable higher time frame indicator. So if I turn that off, you'll see that disappear. And then you can set that to whatever you like. And I like to leave that on the 1 hour. So it doesn't matter what time frame you're on, you can see what it's done on the 1 hour. Okay, so that's pretty cool. Yeah, and I know that SMFC, the programmer of the Stonksy bot, I know that he likes to do this 6 minute strategy when it's on a green background, and that didn't quite happen here because there wasn't a green background. But nevertheless, when it did cross that point there, it would have been a good entry, wouldn't it? Or even back here. Tell you what I did the other day, actually. I bought the not Stonksy, I bought the TradingView Premium. So I've actually now got the 1 second time frame, which is crazy. Let me show you. Oh, this is quite mad, isn't it? I wonder if we can see anything like that as it goes along. It's just too quick, isn't it? I'm just going to get a drink of water. I'll be back in about 10 seconds. Right, I'm back. Actually, I think Bitcoin is actually pumping up a little bit. I suppose what I could do is I could split the screen up, couldn't I? Have like say 3 there. So I could have that one on the 1 second, that one on the 6 minute, this one on the 1 hour. The screen's a little bit small, isn't it? That's a bit crazy, isn't it? No, I don't like that. I quite like looking at it on the 1 second though. Excuse me. Yeah. All right. I think I've spotted a friend of mine. Mr. Delta. Hello, mate. Nobody told us that it was going to be his way. No one told us that it was going to be his way. Not quite sure what you mean. Dave on another. Yeah, he's on holiday. Yeah, he's yeah. I think he actually is a proper holiday this time. Last time he was doing stuff to do with moving house or something. But this time he's actually having a proper holiday up in the Yorkshire Moors, apparently. I hope the weather's better than what it is down here, because it's a bit pants, actually. That is just mad, isn't it? The 1 second. What's the 30 second look like? That looks a bit more sane. So could you trade this kind of thing? I wonder. I don't know. No, you're not. There's not really enough variation, is there? I think generally with trading, you need to get like a 3 or 4% profit, to make something worthwhile and cover your fees. I think that has to be like the minimum. So I think if you were to trade up and down like this, you wouldn't make anything because it'd just be too small. You'd need to go a bit larger, which is why I like all sorts of time frames really, but I do like a 6 minute actually. Actually, that was interesting because the 5 minute, I know. I thought there was a green background there. So I'm just thinking, could you actually trade this if you ignored the fact that it wasn't a green background? If you went from there and then you said that, okay, I'm not going to close it until it hits the top of the inner band. That would have done that there, 0.6. You'd have to be on like 10x leverage to make 6% there, but I suppose it's doable, isn't it? And then if you did it again here, you would have gone from there up to there, 0.94%. Yeah. So look a bit for. I'm just wondering if I could do this on stream, like maybe tomorrow or something. Actually do this sort of thing where I ignore the background, but if I see the price coming down to the inner channel, if it's like that and it's pretty steep, I think the plan is to sort of like wait a little bit. So probably I would have gone long, I don't know, there, I suppose. No, I'd have gone up to there, 0.27. See, that wouldn't have been quite enough, would it? How about a bigger time frame, something like 12 minute? That'd probably work, wouldn't it? Yeah, I think this might be a good plan for tomorrow. It'd be quite scary. I think it's quite scary doing trading in front of people, but I think that would be I think it'd be good fun. So yeah, Dave's on another holiday. Coding say missed all the good weather going there now. Yeah, possibly. Yeah, I'm actually a little bit depressed by the end of the summer coming around so quick. I don't know. It just to me, it just seemed to happen like really, really quickly. Here in the UK, anyway. Or it might be because I've just, I went to Spain for like 11 days a couple of weeks ago and got back, and it just seemed really cold here. Even though it's not some. I went out yesterday and it was it was about 19, 20 centigrade. It was actually felt fairly warm, but it wasn't like Spain was. I actually really like being hot. I love it. We're lucky it lasted months. Yeah, I suppose it did really, didn't it? You kind of get a bit spoilt, really, don't you? Sort of like, because I don't know. I think the thing is with England is if we didn't have all the crappy weather, we wouldn't appreciate all the good weather. It's the kind of contrast. But I just know now it's just going to get colder and colder, and the nights are going to get longer and longer, and I'm just not going to enjoy it. No, I'm just going to be dreaming of going away somewhere. And for the past few years, we've gone away in like the October half term, like school half term, because my daughter gets like 2 weeks off school for the half term. But she's finished school now and she's at college, so I think she only gets like a week or maybe nothing actually. So we haven't really got that kind of time to go away anymore. So I don't think we'll be going anywhere until like Easter, So there you go. Okay. Friends theme. Friends theme. Oh, is that what you was? Oh, nobody told us that it was good. Oh, I see. You meant this way. Going to be this way. Oh, I see. All right. Okay. Fair enough. All right. It does get a bit confusing sometimes when you see like replies to people and you think, well, what are they talking about? Or like it's something that I've said like 5 minutes ago, because there is a bit of a delay between like me and you at the moment. I mean, it's not long. It's about 2 or 3 seconds. But even so, that happens. And then also you look in the chat and you think, well, what's he on about? Anyway. Coding Crypto's fit. When I was at college, would always get the same time off as schools during holidays. Yeah, well, they kind of do, I think. I mean, for example, she starts next week. Well, this week actually, but she only does like Thursday and Friday, which was probably about the same as what the schools do. But I think what they did with her particular school was I think they took some days from somewhere else, and they always had 2 weeks in October. So like the last 2 weeks of October, which was brilliant. I mean, like one year we went to Portugal in the Algarve, and it was really nice down there. And then last year we went to Tenerife, and that was obviously brilliant there because like the weather's just nice all year round. I actually want to retire there. I think the Canary Islands. I love it there. So yeah, to have the 2 weeks is really good because you can always get cheap flights, because like cheap flights always go on like a Tuesday or like a Friday or something. So it means you can get a week without without going weekend to weekend. If you fly on Saturday, it's normally a bit more expensive than not. So yeah. Well, there you go. It would have been New York Open, wouldn't it? So it wasn't, unfortunately. Nevertheless, the price of Bitcoin is actually looking all right, I think. There was something that was pointed out this morning on the Wizard of Oz channel. I was watching him on there with Justin, and he was talking about, what was he talking about? He was talking about the weekly levels for Bitcoin. Now, obviously, we've had 3 red weeks in a row. How often does that happen? It's not very often you get 4. We got 4 then, back in June last year. And we got 4 then in April 2024. Got this dreadful period here, March 2022. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 weeks, 9 red weeks in a row. That was from 46k down to 29. Wow. It's amazing how far we've come, isn't it? You know, you look back. And I got into crypto in 2020, I think it was. I remember that the price just didn't want to go over 10 grand. It was 10,500 was always the price I was looking at for Bitcoin. And basically, if it went below 10 grand, I bought some, and if it went above 10 grand, I didn't. And then it went up a lot, which was really nice. Unfortunately, I didn't really hang on to all the Bitcoin I bought. I kept swapping it for other things, thinking that they'd do better, and they didn't. So there is that to be said. I mean, what is everyone's major holding? Are you all Bitcoin people or altcoins? Yeah, crypto coding saying back then was amazing. Yeah, it was actually. Yeah, I just wish I knew how to. I'd known how to trade then, because I didn't. All I did was just, buy Bitcoin. I think I bought it on Kraken actually, and didn't really know what to do with it really, apart from just hang on to it. Which is why I started swapping it into like various rubbish, really. Sorry, I shouldn't talk about e-gold like that. Yeah. I have pictures on my phone of BTC at 3k on Coinbase. Yeah. I think when I first got it, it was I first got my first bit of Bitcoin, which was actually back in like 2018. I think it was about $500, and then it went down to 300, and I was like, oh God, what's going on? And oh, if only I'd have known. So, Coding, you've got BTC, Link, and ETH. I think very solid choice there. Yeah, I've got mainly BTC, Borg, CRO, EGLD still, and well, yeah, I won't talk about the other one, but it's another Romanian thing. Oh my God! Short Video Guru, when it bought his first crypto, BTC was around $30. Blimey! Cool. When was that then? That must have been like 1,000 years ago. $30. Got to have a look now. $30. I have to look at the. I don't know what chart you'd look at. Gemini, is it? I suppose all-time history. Wow, $30 is a long time ago, isn't it? That's about here, isn't it? $2013. I'll tell you what, is back then. In fact, Mr. Dalton knows him as well. He's a Scottish lad, big tall Scottish lad, nice fella. But he's a guy we knew out in France, and he's one of these guys who just he's a conspiracy guy, and so I never quite take anything he says seriously. And I remember he was playing with us on a tour when we went with the band, when we drove up from the French Alps. We drove up to Denmark, and it was a long trip, as you can imagine. It's about 1,000 kilometers, and on the way he was talking about something that I need to get into. He said, you want to get into Bitcoin, and I just didn't understand it at the time. I just thought, it's kind of electronic money somehow. So it's like a file, it's like, I thought it was like just like a file, like a JPEG or something. And I thought, well, if you got that, you can surely just copy and paste it and make another one. And I just didn't understand it at all. And I didn't bother to understand it. And he'd got 3 Bitcoin back then. Sadly, years later, he was scammed out of it and he lost it. But yeah, he had 3 Bitcoin then. And then about a year later, there was another friend of mine. His name was Fergus. I think Mr. Delta will know. And I was doing all right with some work at the time. I was doing lots of remote SEO work, and I was making some reasonable money. And I didn't know what to do with it, because I was earning quite a lot of it in different currencies, really, in dollars, and some of it in GBP. And I wasn't sure what to do with it. And I kind of asked my French bank. I said, have you got a savings bank? And they kind of laughed and said, well, we have, but it's not worth having. And that was a major bank. That was Banque Populaire, which is one of the bigger banks. And they just said it's not worth having a savings account, because the interest rate is and it was like 0.00 something. It was just nothing, So that wasn't an option. So I phoned my bank, Santander, in the UK, and I said, can I have a savings account? And they said, oh yeah, we got this one, that one. Typical interest rates of 2-3% or whatever. And I said, great, okay, can I set it up? And they said, yeah, sure, what's your address? And I told them my French address. And they said, oh, we can't do it if you haven't got a UK address. So I couldn't do that. So this friend of mine, Fergus, he said, I've heard there's something called Ethereum that that might do well. And I think that was I was almost interested at that point. When was that? That was, I'm trying to think. We went to Denmark in 2012. It would be about 2013, I think it would be. No, not 2013. 2013. I think. So, oh my God, that's back here, isn't it? Oh, that's depressing. The thing is, I didn't actually have a clue how I would have bought it. It must have been later, surely. But yeah, it wasn't much later. It was around about this time. Oh, it was about $1. Jesus. I think that to me is the one that I really missed out on, because I was almost interested at that point in time. God. Anyway, he didn't get any either. He did, however, do up a couple of places in the Alps. He sold them, and then he moved to where did he move to? Not Madagascar. He moved to Sri Lanka. Yeah, so he lives in Sri Lanka now. He's got like a little place by the sea, which he said it's all right. It's not as good as Thailand though. So there you go. 2011, 30, yeah, I think it was then. It was definitely on one of the tours we did of Denmark, and I know we went there. We went there just after my second child had been born. So she was born in 2009. So she wasn't very old. So I don't know. I bought Dogecoin instead. Did that work out for you? Probably did, didn't it? Oh, maybe not. 2012, yeah, I think that was, yeah. I remember seeing it at $30 as well. I used to play a game and you could buy items on the game with BTC. Bloody hell. 2015, 2016 wasn't until E3 picked up, I think. Yeah, it's not that old, is it? You know, I suppose it's getting on for 10 years now, isn't it? I would have, but lost the drive. 90. Oh God. Oh man. 95,000. Not 95,000 Doge. I don't even know how much Doge is now. Let's have a look. Yeah, sorry, there's not much to talk about today, is there really? Because it's there's no US markets. There's not much volatility. I did notice Bitcoin have a little bit of a dump though, but we'll have a look in a moment. So what did you say? 95,000. Right. So 95,000 times 21. Oh, right. So that would have been, yeah, about 20 grand. Bugger. Well, that's 20 grand by today's prices. And then up there it went to, it went up 44,000%, didn't it? So that would have been 70 cents. 70 cents, so that would have been more like about, what, 60 grand or something? Yeah. I don't know. I think we've all had things like that, haven't we? You know. Right, let's have a look at Bitcoin because it's doing something. Right, we've still got the green background. Which is okay. 6 minutes, still nothing. Oh, it's okay. Yeah, no, it's just wiggling around a little bit. No, I'm just looking at it on another chart where I've got it zoomed in quite a bit. So it looked like it pulled back a lot, but it was only this little bit here. But that's to be expected, isn't it? Because we're at the top of the channel there. Let me just have a look at the CRO because I've got that tray going on. It's annoying. Okay. I really wanted that to go up, but it probably won't today, will it? Because it's going to be driven by American people, and they're all on holiday today. I don't even know what holiday is it. Is it Labor Day or something like that? Yeah, I know. I think we've all got stories like that. I honestly just wish that all the Bitcoin I'd bought, I wish I'd just kept and not tried to be clever with it, you know. Yeah, Cardano at 1 cent told my dad to stick 1K in it. It went to $3.50 or something. He then decides to stick 1K in at $2 instead. Oh, okay. What's Cardano at? It's one thing I've never had, actually. Oh, okay. So your dad bought it $2 and it's now 81 cents. Yeah. Yeah, it happens, doesn't it? I think it's laboured. Yeah, I think it is. Yeah. And they always call them. I've noticed in Canada they always have. It's always some other sort of day, you know. I might ask my grok lady. Hi there. What holiday is it today in the US?
Today's a federal holiday, Labor Day, celebrated on the first Monday of September to honor workers and the labor movement. There are also observances like American Chess Day, Building and Code Staff Appreciation Day, Ginger Cat Appreciation Day, and National Cherry Popover Day, but they're not federal holidays, just fun or niche celebrations.
How about Canada? Is it a holiday there as well?
Yes, today's Labor Day in Canada, too, a statutory holiday nationwide on the first Monday of September, similar to the US, honoring workers' contributions. Most provinces and territories observe it, so expect closures for government offices, banks, and many businesses.
Okay. And when's the next?
So, you were at...
Oh, sorry. And when is the next US holiday?
No worries. The next U.S. holiday after Labor Day is Columbus Day, which falls on Monday, October 13th, 2025. It's also observed as Indigenous Peoples Day in some places, a federal holiday with bank and government closures. Anything else you're curious about? No,
that's fine, thanks. Okay, so yeah, Labor Day. No, I had a feeling it was something like, well, not Ginger Cat Day, but I had a feeling it was something weird in Canada, like, I don't know. Anyway. Right. Oh, what we got here? So Scotty's saying Tap Global got it up there with my worst investment at present, but I still think exchange will do well. But Tap really need a marketing debt restructuring. My marketing department restructuring. Yeah, I don't really get it, to be honest. Actually, it's like, I don't know, it has the potential to be okay. And you know, I did actually use the card when I was in Spain a couple of weeks ago, which I think is all right. I mean, I've got the level now where I get 6% cash back, but the XTP you get back is like locked for 12 months. So I don't know what it's going to be worth in 12 months. I mean, the way things are going, it's probably worth less than it is now, which would be pretty rubbish. I don't know. I mean, to me, they need to get the GBP side of it sorted out, because at the moment, if you try and load your card in the UK, you can load it. We can load it with GBP, but then it turns it into euros if you want to use it on the card. So it makes no sense to put GBP on the card, turn it into euros, and then go down Tesco and spend GBP. Anyway, which is why it's just my holiday card at the moment. As far as being the worst investment, yeah, the problem with me was I hung on to it until it was like worth a lot, like a hell of a lot, and I didn't sell it, and then I watched it come down again. So that was my problem there. I've still got it, you know. I've actually staked it on the card now, because I just thought, well, I can't see anything happening the next year or so, so I may as well stake it for a year and get the 6% back on the card. But to be honest, I haven't used it much. I did use it to hire a car though, so I did, spend, I don't know, 300 or 400 euros on it, which I got, with 6% cash back is like not too bad. But it'd be interesting to see what it's worth this time next year. So I don't know. It's one of those things where I'd actually like to use it in a way, rather than just speculate with it, and then maybe if one day it is worth a load, then I will sell it. But for the moment, it's just like, not brilliant. Scotty's saying, breaking, Trump says India has offered to cut their tariffs to nothing. Okay. So India has offered to cut their tariffs to nothing. All right, that's good news, isn't it? Okay. Ask any holiday for Bitcoin in USA. Yeah. Maple syrup day. Yeah, it probably is in Canada, isn't it? Yeah. All right. Well, not lots happening, is there? No, let's have a quick look at what's going on with things in general on my list. So it's just nothing really, isn't it? It's just like really sideways today. I think it's just going to be a boring day today. If you want to get some Swissborg, that's looking reasonably cheap today. Maybe I'll do that actually. Do that with me e-gold money. Doesn't do much though, does it? It was a wait. I think it was worth not $1, but I think it was worth €1 at one point, isn't it? Pretty much. Maybe it was $1. Oh. That was well over $1, wasn't it? Wow. When was that? But that was 2021, wasn't it? Yeah. I still think that was probably a bargain. God, I'd be happy if it went back up there again. So yeah. A link. That's a bit deceiving because that's on the one day. Link is just fanning about, isn't it? XRP, no one cares about. BGB, there you go, an exchange token. It's like $4.65 now. I'm definitely going to look into exchange tokens a bit more. Maybe do some proper research. See what I can find. Yeah, Ethereum sideways, isn't it, really? See, Bitcoin looks like it wants to climb out this hole, but I think without the markets being open, I don't think it's going to do that. I think it's just going to go sideways today. Like the Grok lady says. ZRO is an interesting one. Might be worth doing some research on that as well. I always think Say's just like Sui, but not good. Solana, I think will go up soon. Tron, I think Tron's a good idea. And I do fancy getting some WXT. It's also worth noting that Chippy is down a lot. So if you want to get some Chippy, you'll notice that I've done a few videos and stuff on my channel about Chippy. I'm actually very bullish on this. I think it will do well. And I think it's, at a fairly cheap price at the moment. I also think Crow might go up a bit more. I mean, it's got to get to $1, I reckon. It's got to get to $1 then.
Hey.
Oops.
Hey.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh God. Right. That was some alerts I'd set. I'll have a look at those now. Anyway, that's pretty much the end of the show, really. Sorry it's so boring today. With the market being shut, that's how it's going to be, isn't it? Yeah, well, I've got a call with my affiliate who I used to have for BX, who now works for a different exchange. So I've got a call with her next. I'm trying to find out if I can find a good deal for BX, and I can let you know about that on my channel later. And yeah, okay. So can you please all do us a favour? If you haven't got Stonksy already, do check out the link at the top. There's also a link there to BLOFIN, which is the exchange that we like. We do also like BitUnix as well. There is a link for that somewhere, but I'll dig it out for tomorrow. I'll make sure it's there in the chat. What else? There's the link there for the affiliate thing. If you're already a Stonksy person, try and get some friends to sign up with it, and spread the word. Get people using Stonksy, yeah, I think that's it. That's all from me today. Oh, it says my mic is dying. Is my mic dying? No, it doesn't matter. It sounds all right to me. But anyway, it's time to go now anyway. So thanks very much for everyone coming. Can you please do a favor? Can you like the stream? And I'll see you all tomorrow at 1 p.m. UK time. That is midday UTC. All right. Take care, everyone. Bye now. Where's the on-off button? There it is. All right. See you all tomorrow.